This is a continuation of my video series called a Stealth Muslim in Action. And even though he says he's not a Muslim, and he says he's Irish, which I think he's probably telling the truth about being Irish, he desperately tries to say that Qur'an 4:24 doesn't mean what it clearly says, especially due to a hadith that I will spring on him later on in this series that proves that I was right all the time, and someone was doing taqiyya in line for Allah, and it wasn't me. So anyway, I'll continue with this thing here. Yeah. Let's see here. Where is this thing again? Oh yeah. By the way, I will tell you. So when I'm reading my words, I'll be using this side of my face. I'm reading his words. I'll be reading the uglier side of my face. So, okay. All right. Again, you mistake the defense. Oh, again? If the Quran is a lie, why do you desperately defend it? Does that make sense? I gave up arguing with you about your misinterpretation of that one passage ages ago. And yet, really? That's all he does? You'll see that he lied there too. Because it wasn't a misinterpretation. Again, if the Quran is a lie, like you say, he actually said it was a lie, yet here he is desperately defending the Quran. Why do you so desperately try to defend it? What I defend is a person's right to worship freely and not be discriminated against due to their religion. And you say I don't? Where did I say that I didn't do the same? Or is showing what Qur'an 4:24 is seen as interference and discrimination? You assumed that anyone who defends the rights to worship freely without interference or discrimination must be a Muslim, because we are talking about the discrimination and condemnation these people have suffered since 9/11. No. For the past week or so, you have been trying to tell me that Qur'an 4:24 doesn't mean what it's talking about. Doesn't mean it's talking about the allowance of a Muslim slave master to have sex with married women if they are his slaves. If you continue to lie, you will be blocked. Whatever your faith tells you, it's not okay to discriminate against another person due to their religion. Yet, you defend a religion, Islam, that is the king of discrimination of those who aren't Muslim, if they're not Muslim, and you say the Quran is a lie. Why do you defend Islam so, if you aren't a Muslim like you claim, and know darn well that Islam isn't tolerant to others? And repeatedly condemning Islam as individually evil is what? For you repeatedly condemning Islam as individually evil is discrimination and inflammatory on your part. Even though it has Quran 9 in the book you say is a lie, yet desperately try to defend. The constant condemning is not the path to a peaceful resolution. No, that's true. I think that pointing out what is in the Quran and educating Muslims and non-Muslims what the Quran and Hadith really say just might be only a path to more violence and hatred. Well, that's because it's headed there if no one points out what is truly in the evil Quran and Hadith. If hate is the path you choose, then hate is what your reward will be. Then I won't be rewarded with hate, because I don't hate anyone. Point out where my hatred is directed at someone, anyone. Prove that you aren't taqiyyaing. Again, you say the Quran is a lie and aren't a Muslim. If so, then why do you so desperately try to defend it? Okay, he never answers that question. But then he says, for another time, he says this. Nobody is lying here, Dragon Driver 100. That's where this was taking place. I was called Dragon Driver. I'm called Dragon Driver 100 on another account. Nobody is lying here, Dragon Driver 100. I asked you the same question a number of times, and you still fail to answer it. Another lie. Whether due to fear or dishonesty, who was the one who lied by saying that Quran 4:24 only had to do with marriage, not as it really means, as backed up by the Hadith? Apparently, I might have given that Hadith by now, but I'll see. What is it you find evil about that passage specifically? Slavery? How? Well, no, how it's okay to have sex with someone's wife in front of them just because they are captured in war. I find that super evil and proof. You know something? Apparently, this is after I gave him that hadith. It must be out of. Yeah, it must be out of chronological order here. Oh shoot! But anyway, okay. Now I know. I had given him this hadith, which I'm pretty sure I have down here. Well, I have it at the end of this series anyway. But apparently, I've already given it to him, and now he's trying to change the subject and say it has nothing to do with having sex having sex with someone's wife in front of them. But because I'm pretty sure I presented that hadith right here now, so I'll read it like I finally presented that hadith to him, because apparently I have. Okay, I say this. Who was the one who lied by saying that only had to do with marriage, not as it really means, as backed up by the hadith? What is it? What is it you find evil about that passage specifically? Slavery? No, how it's okay to have sex with someone's wife in front of them just because they are captured in war. I find that super evil and proof that African American complaint goes right out the window if Islam is of God. Is proof. Let's see here. Slavery. Is that slavery is evil, or is it slavery okay, but marrying one of your slaves? Where does it say? He's trying to make it back on, trying to say it's dealing with marriage again. So even though I presented that hadith, he's still trying to go back to saying it's trying to deal with marriage. Where does it say in the Quran or hadith of Quran 4:24 that women being raped in front of their non-Muslim husbands is, quote, marriage? Oh, that's right, it doesn't. No matter how desperate you non-Muslim want it to be. Or having sex, as you so eloquently put it. Hey, I didn't write the hadith. Oh, how you, someone who said he isn't a Muslim, don't want to say the color red is red. It's not okay. You evade and deflect from the question, but it is still there. Okay for you to deflect and evade, I see. What is your belief? Are you afraid to open your own holy book? My holy book? Not according to the, quote, clear signs handed down. My holy book is actually Allah's holy book, confirmed and reminded by the Quran. Want the scriptures? Your holy book, up to criticism. Should you condemn the practice of slavery or make yourself look bad by endorsing it? Where does it say in Allah's Torah that the Quran tells me to, quote, stand firm upon, according to Quran 568, and is, quote, like the Quran, and is, quote, both guidance and light, according to the Quran, that it's okay to rape women in front of... Yeah. Where is it okay in the Bible that it's okay to rape women in front of their husbands when you capture them, as the hadith describes Quran 4:24 to really be? Where? Pick a stance, and the debate can continue. You mean denying and evading from you, so that can continue. If you are normally opposed to slavery, say so. I try to change the subject big time here. He knows. Okay, so having sex with a woman in front of her husband is slavery. Sure it isn't a sanctioning of rape from the, quote, most compassionate, most merciful? Then defend the passages in your Bible. You mean Allah's Bible book, according to the clear signs that condone the practice. If you are in favor of slave trade, well, they make medication. They make medication that can fix you. I take it then you are telling all Muslims to take medication when Sharia law is imposed and 424 kicks into action, right? Okay, now he tries to use ad hominem on me. He goes in to say this to me. He says this. What was it? Goes into ad hominem. Okay. All right. He says this. When all else fails, bring out the ad hominem attack. You, sir, are a twit. Your continued reference of your Bible as Allah's Bible infers that you are yourself a Muslim. No, again, I am not a Muslim. I am contrary to your incredibly uneducated worldview. Not everyone who disagrees with your rantings is a Muslim. I am in fact a Buddhist. And no, that is not the same. That is not some obscure domination of Islam. You have a great deal of anger for Muslims. I can only believe that you must have lost your job to someone you think is a Muslim, or are one of the ridiculous Michelle Bachmann types that think that your president is a Muslim and should be disrespected. This religious intolerance is the first step down the very dark path. Germany followed it in the mid-30s, with Jews as the scapegoats. Question, do you think only Christians should be allowed to be present in the US? You told me you didn't study the Quran. I tell you what, you need to study it. You do that, and you'll find out that the Bible is the book that makes people the book, Jews and Christians, and that the Bible, the book, is, quote, confirmed, is confirmed by the Quran. And again, you need to study that, quote, clear signs handed down. Then, maybe, just maybe, you won't be so jihadi desperate to try to defend it against those who truly know the great evil of the Quran. And he didn't answer me there, but then some other guy jumps in, and I get he's another Muslim that tries to defend it. And since I think he's, no, forget it. I just want this between myself and this stealth Irish Muslim. Okay, then he says this. He tries to change the subject, goes like this, and says, the fact that you hold Anne Barnhart in any esteem is evidence of your problems, says the non-Muslim. That woman is what is called a hate monger. Where does she hate anyone? Truthfully, I have seen only 2 videos where she burns parts of the Quran she takes as evil. Since then, I just click on her every once in a while to see if my prayers for her protection are still being answered. I mean, I see it as a miracle from God that her pretty head is still on her shoulders. You say you hate Islam. You want me to lie and say that I don't? Now, how does that hate towards a Muslim's faith manifest? I've got to continue this. I'm running out of time here. Bye.